as polls show the presidential race now tied in critical states, new GDP data is being called good news for Vice President Harris. It shows 6 of the 7 battleground states saw faster economic growth than the nation as a whole. I want to now bring in the host of What's Bugging Me podcast, Dennis Kneale. Dennis, welcome back to the show. And I wanted to share this off the top, too. Bloomberg's report says this: growth in GDP adjusted for inflation in Michigan and Wisconsin was among the 10 fastest in the country, and Pennsylvania rebounded after contracting, I should say, in the first quarter. And Arizona, Georgia, North Carolina remained stronger than the national average. Only Nevada lagged behind. Dennis, is this really a turnaround going on, particularly in these battleground states?
Well, a couple caveats. First of all, It's certainly not hurtful to the Kamala campaign. It's good that when GDP is going up and it's outpacing the national average, especially in 6 of the 7 swing states. So certainly that's a good thing, not a bad thing. Now, here's the caveats. First, state data for GDP are very volatile and often restated. So and second, this data are only up to June 30. Third problem, we don't feel GDP growth in the same way we feel prices. Those pulse points of food, gasoline, and rent, okay, are what we feel far more. And that, unfortunately, even though inflation has come down from a high in 2022 of 9% down to only 2.3% most recent data, right? That's good news. But it's compounding on top of this huge 20 to 30% increase in prices. So gasoline was at $2.17 a gallon in 2020 when Trump was president and getting thrown out of office. And now it's still at $3.20. That's more than 50% higher. Food. I went to the street fair, Atlantic Antic, 49th anniversary in Brooklyn, huge fair. I spent $67 on street food that's supposed to be cheap for regular people, just for myself yesterday. The entrees were like, $23, $22 instead of $10, $8.
Just insane.
And so, right, it's insane. And meanwhile, my rent here in Brooklyn, it's going up 20%. So I feel those things far more.
20% is an astronomical, an exponential increase. And people, Americans just like you and me, feeling it all over the country. The other thing I wanted to point out, Democrats are pointing to recent polls showing Vice President Harris closing the gap on economy. A Bloomberg poll now finds former President Trump leading by just 4 points on that issue. So, Dennis, is that a big warning sign to Republicans, you think, with just 36 days to go?
Well, okay, so all of these polls, I'm not sure that I trust any of them. Bloomberg is one of the most liberal outlets anywhere. And so I haven't had a chance to look at that poll for how many people in the response set, what is the plus or minus margin of error, what makes up the response, because a lot of times they overweight Democrats. So it's hard to know any of that. But I do know that there's a new curveball that polls can't capture yet, and that is the devastating Hurricane Helene. And where is President Biden and Vice President Harris in responding to this? You're starting to see on the X media platform, the single most important social media platform, a lot of complaints saying, what's going on here? And I'm shocked that Vice President Harris's campaign hasn't flown into one of these places and worked to do something with an executive order of helping out. I haven't seen anything like that. And I think that could hurt the Harris campaign.
Yeah, we know that Biden says he'll go this week if it doesn't interfere with recovery efforts. We know she's meeting with some FEMA execs today at the White House. But Dennis Kneale, thank you so much. We'll see what the rest of this week. Thanks for watching, everybody. Go to joinnn.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. Also, don't forget to click that red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.